Yo, how's it going, everyone? Awesome, great. Glad you asked. Shaddoll-Trains. Getting away from dozer control, decided that I wanted to play going second trains again, and this is just more. It just turned into Shaddoll-Trains naturally, and I thought Shaddolls would be kind of a fun choice for the format, just with as many Shaddoll decks as there are running around. Uh, Ended up not really going that route with it, but still blind second train deck nonetheless, and it feels good to be back playing trains. So for the millionth time, before I get started, shout out to Hasten for hooking me up with the Earth Charmer sleeves. Incredibly clean, very fitting for the deck. So big thank you to him. But without further ado, it is a 40 card main deck. No traps though, just all gas, no breaks, as it should be. Starting off, we are playing one Cyberstein, and I guess I kind of zoom in a little bit here. I'll just keep all the cards up here, but yeah. So one Cyberstein, huge play starter, one card OTK, big dick energy. The whole point behind this deck too is if like you're, obviously you can play conservatively and try and like have a control aspect to it if you don't think you're gonna be able to OTK. But more times than not, I mean, it's a one-turn kill deck. So if you don't have the balls to try and kill someone in one turn, or commit to the like what the playstyle of the deck is, then like fuck off and don't touch the deck. But more times than not, like if you're willing to break your opponent's board and try and go for a game, then you're gonna find a lot of success with the deck. Now you can't do that every time, but don't let me be the one to tell you that. Chase your dreams. So yeah, one Cyberstein, and I'll show you what we do with him once we get to the extra deck. But yeah, this, and also like if people see Stein drop, they're just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, when's the last time you saw anyone playing Cyberstein? Exactly, but you have a deck that you can play it in, and it's a one-card OTK, so just do it. It's only 5,000 life points. 3 Pegasus, still an amazing, it's like Wolfbark, just your ring 10 initiator to the deck, still very much so needed. And 2 Express Knight. So in total, we are running a 6-card normal summon lineup, not bad, but I'm kind of the sweet spot. 3 Pegasus is still mandatory. 2, I don't know, unless Skill Drain comes back to 3, I don't ever see myself playing this at 3. And then Cyberstein. As far as your extenders, I can't tell you how many times I've had to put this in a profile now, but 3 Derek Ring and 3 Bullet, never changing, I guess, unless you're playing like Dozer Control or something, but in terms of like just the pure ring 10 train aspects, yeah, these are, Derek Ring not being a once per turn is just fucking insane, and then Bullet giving you your grind game. A little bit of spice since we were playing the Shaddoll package. We were playing one Elvish the Golden Lord. It is a light target. He's also level 10 for any of you that have not managed to count how many stars at the top of the card yet. But he pairs incredibly well with Revolving Switchyard and Urgent Schedule as well. He's a 2-card combo with Urgent Schedule to OTK. You can pitch, add Night Express, bring him back by sending the Switchyard and the normal summon Knight. I mean, that's a rank 10 in itself. He also keeps re-looping himself back with Shaddoll Fusion. Obviously, once it's re-added back to hand, you can just send it to Graveyard. If you bring Shekanaga back out, then it's sent to Graveyard. You just re-add the Shaddoll Fusion. So you kind of do have a way of looping him continuously. He's also a light, so you can send him off Fusion for Construct. On top of that, we were main decking 2 Jizukiru, just again going second, breaking board cards. Oh, also, like I said, you can bring him back with Urgent Schedule as well. If you have Urgent Schedule set, and whenever he sends schedule trigger, you can actually add any level 10 machine. And it doesn't have to be Earth Machine, you can add Jizukiru as well from Urgent Schedule. And then also, I guess, going second, you can just send from hand to Graveyard with a spell or trap to clear as well. So Elvish, definitely a spicy tech. I wouldn't play more than one, but it definitely has its utility in the deck. Doesn't come up every time, could side it out if need be, but it's hot. For the Shaddolls, 1 Genius and 1 Dragon. When I was playing Desires, I was playing a 3rd Genius. You could be playing a Beast or something to follow suit, but these are just dead as fuck in your hand unless you have a Shaddoll Fusion. But you don't want these in your hand. So I'm playing 2, that way you at least have targets for it, but I did cut Desires, so there's no reason to overdo it on the Shaddoll monster aspect. For hand traps, 3 Ash, it's pretty standard, and then we are doing 3 Gamma with the driver package as well. Gamma still wholeheartedly. I think the best hand trap in existence ever. Going second, you can absolutely shit on any of your opponent's main plays, and I feel like the better you are, the more apt you are to try and hold it for your turn, especially when you have cards like Urgent, Shaddoll Fusion, Switch Yard, just all these play starters that eat up ashes, and then just being able to capitalize that off even harder with Gamma. But either or, just having at least something to interact with your opponent while going second. Alright, and that's it for the monsters. Spells, triple Urgent Schedule, again, going second, winning, one turn, pretty self-explanatory. Shaddoll Fusion, again, Shaddoll-Trains, we're trying to capitalize as much as possible in going second. All of your spell cards, too, like, are such blowouts. Like, you gain so much momentum and advantage off of these cards if they resolve. So, when you open up, you know, one, if not two of these, and then board-breaking cards, it just, the deck just works so inherently beautifully together. For the field spell, alright, fair warning. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm totally taking a giant L on this next part because I truly have to be a piece of shit to do what I'm doing here, and I don't deny that because I've never played Mystic Mine in any decks wholeheartedly, but this is insane. The field spell obviously generates your advantage on your opponent's turn by being able to, you know, summon 4 like being able to play Scapegoat on your opponent's turn. Everyone knows that. But in certain aspects where you know that you're not going to be able to break said board, or like it's just like a plan B, and I mean anyone's definitely have to go buy a plan B, so we know how vital that can be at some points in time. But the terraforming just tutors as your third copy, or your searcher, so you're running 2 mines and then 3 field spell essentially. But if you really wanted to, I mean, you could go like 2-1 or 1-1-1. That way you're effectively playing 2 copies of each. But as of right now, I'm pretty content with 2-1-1, and it seems to be working all right. But just seeing Revolving Switch Yard is just, I mean, not crucial, but it helps generate so much advantage. And if your OTK doesn't go through, Switch Yard and Anger Knuckle is just beautiful. And you don't always want to go into Zeus if you keep your Switch Yard up, so food for thought. Board breaking cards, we do have, we're playing 2 Lightning, 2 Cosmic, and then Zeus's Thunderbolt, and 1 Duster. I always draw these 2 together, which is just amazing. But yeah, all you're doing is trying to, again, clear your opponent's board and then set up that sweet 2 level 10 monster setup, just so you can poke. I mean, these are both very heavy 1-ofs. You don't see a lot of people making Legacy, but it definitely works. It just blows up the whole goddamn field. And, I mean, at least, if anything, it's going to force a negation on your opponent's turn. But, no, the deck isn't really rocket science. It's literally just break, win, go to game 2. But yeah, like I said, 40 card main deck. No traps. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward and works relatively well. As long as you don't just open up Shaddolls and Driver and other normal stuff. We'll do extra deck. 1 Anger Knuckle and 1 Pentastag for your links. Don't really need anything else. Took out Cut Genius. Never really used them. Pentastag obviously allows you to get over anything that's in defense position. Just snag super easy games. Makes it so that your opponent is literally never safe. Anger Knuckle, fucking insane. 3 level 10. Generates insane advantage with the field spell out as well. You could argue like maybe playing 2 Anger Knuckle if you have the room for it in the extra deck, but 1 works pretty well. But if this gets like called Bite or banished, then it's obviously a bad time. But because he can bring himself back up from the graveyard, 1 is typically all you need. We're playing the 1 Omega just because if you get the Gamma off on your turn, then it's just extra value, and then you snag the Nibiru out of your opponent's hand, and then you just 5,000 IQ. For the Shaddolls, we're playing 1 Construct and 2 Shekinaga. You always want to make sure that you have a target for your Shaddoll Fusion in terms of, I mean, Shekinaga is a rank 10, I mean, she's a train, she's level 10 Earth Machine, so if that conceptually hasn't clicked yet, then great, I'm glad I was able to shed some light on that. Construct, being able to send anything, also just facilitating plays with Eldritch, it just adds a different route of play as well. Construct can get over certain weird cards, but more times than not, you're going into Shekinaga. Okay. These are for the Cyberstein. So this is Super Vehicroid mobile based. And what this guy is, he's 0 attack, 5,000 defense, and you special summon one with Cyberstein, and as long as your opponent has a monster with over 0 attack, you can activate his effect, and all he does is special summons another Roid Fusion monster from your extra deck with less attack equal to than whatever your opponent has on the field. So they have, whatever the fuck it is, something with 500 life points or attack points, summon this, and then he brings out the second bird like me creep, but I don't fucking know, it doesn't matter. But the point is, you get 2 level 10 Earth Machines out on the field for the low cost of 5,000 life points, but this alone is, Anger Knuckle, blah blah blah, you have Crane, Bullet, Pegasus, so many other ways to extend past this on top of Urgent Shaddoll Fusion. The point is, this one card just gets you completely going. If your opponent doesn't have a monster, you can still, pay 5,000, now you have a 1-card Anger Knuckle. The point is, Cyberstein's high risk, high reward. Typically wouldn't drop it first thing in the turn, but the point is, like, if you can clear everything on your opponent's side of the field, minus, like, a monster, you can still very effectively put out a lot of resources for yourself. The XYZ's 2 Gustav, 1 Dora, and 1 Sky Palace, and then 2 Leap. Standard is being able to put on 4K. Gustav is always going to be Cowboy on crack, card's insane. 2 Leap, very necessary. I mean, you never know what's going to happen in the first one, but it's just having a backup. I have been finding you can't really cut either of these. You always have to have your level 10s to follow into Leap. Obviously, you can recycle with Bullet, but I'm finding that, there's times where I almost wish I had a second Dora or something, but conservatively, you can definitely get by with this package. You should only need 1 turn to win, but obviously, exceptions have to be made. And then just Plan B is Zeus. If obviously the OTK doesn't go through, you don't have the field spell out, just slap a Zeus on top of Lead, and you effectively bought yourself another turn. But that is the extra deck, 15 cards. Nothing too extravagant, but it's Shaddoll-Trains, so you got Shaddoll of your trains. If you cut out Stein, that gives you a lot of wiggle room for other resources that you can try and buy or use. Like I was playing, Super Polys, and like one was a window, just so I had ways of interacting with other Shaddoll players. So there's definitely all sorts of routes that you can take the deck, but I just kind of lean towards or away from that stuff. Side deck, so there's some cards in here that I just threw in last night because I saw them on profile and it looked super spicy, so I'm going to try it out. You guys let me know how it works. But the third G Sakiru and the third Cosmic, depending on if going first, Cosmic is just insane against certain macro decks and more optimal than Lightning Storms and whatnot. Sakiru just takes care of, Dragoon and all sorts of big bad boards that can't be dealt with otherwise. Heatwave. So this little spicy fucker, I don't know if anyone knows what it does, or if you know what it does, but at the start of main phase 1, neither player can normal summon or special summon effect monsters until your next draw phase. So all you do is essentially summon that, set anything if you feel the need to, and then you pass. So your opponent can't do anything except set a monster. And you essentially just buy yourself an entire turn. Very situational. You have to obviously be going first and take in your first hand, but an absolute blowout if you ask me. Shouldn't have to say this, everyone should already know if you've watched any of my train videos, but Triple Chalice, card's absolutely fucking insane. Turns off window, turns your own trains back on if they, like lead, not lead, Bullet, Crane, Night Express Knight. This has super fun interactions with all of them. It's Strike going first, Break Sports going second. Still one of my favorite cards. For the one-of traps, Red Reboot, Imperial Order, and Skill Drain. Obviously just solid one-ofs. Imperial Order and Skill Drain, obviously for going first, and then I guess this kind of will top off. 2 goes in, 2 Rivalry. I was playing 3 goes in, 2 Rivalry. So effectively going first, you're going to have, and again, it really depends on the matchup, because like Prank Kids, this is an absolute blowout against, which I fucking hate playing against Prank Kids. But so you have 6 side-in cards. Your Skill Drain and Imperial Order can effectively be your third copies of Gozen and Rivalry, if you will, just so like, in terms of blowout cards. So you still have those 6 Heatwave, if you will. So going first, you definitely have like an immense amount of cards to side in to optimize, and then obviously, even Chalice is fantastic going first if you don't know if you're going first or second. But the point of the side deck is obviously to give yourself a turn 1 play, just so you can buy yourself time. The deck inherently plays under Rivalry and goes in so everything's Earth Machine. skill drain shouldn't have to say anything. Like again, if you've been watching my videos, you know that, I mean, this is just very, very standard stuff that I've been playing for a while. I definitely think the deck is very fine-tuned right now. Obviously open to suggestions, but I've been playing it for a while, and I'm pretty comfortable with getting the profile out now as the deck sets. So as of now, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys. I do appreciate you guys keeping up with the channel. I think we just hit like 750 subscribers, so you know, we're making progress almost to that fat 1K, and then the real big bucks start rolling in. But until then, we'll keep on keeping on. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will see you guys next time.